Tidbits from TNT, Sunday, September 21, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. TNT. Tishwash. North Oil. We expect to resume Kurdistan region oil exports within 48 hours. The director of the North Oil Company, Amer Khalil, expected on Saturday that the Kurdistan region's oil exports would resume within the next 48 hours. The director of the North Oil Company said in an interview monitored by IQ, the Iraqi government has shown flexibility in meeting the demands of the oil companies, noting that the two sides have reached a large agreement, 95%. He explained that the oil companies have requested guarantees to obtain their rights and dues, and the federal government has agreed to this and will provide the necessary guarantees. In this context, Kurdistan Regional Government Prime Minister Masroor Barzani announced today that there is an imminent understanding and agreement between oil production companies in the Kurdistan region and the federal government. Tishwash. Al-Sudani. Iraq is in the eye of the storm. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani warned on Saturday that regional and international security, political, and environmental challenges have placed Iraq at the eye of the storm. He also highlighted Iraq's ambition to become a gateway for 20% of Asian trade to Europe through the Development Road Project. In a speech during the launch ceremony of Iraq's Vision 2050, al-Sudani said, "Today we stand before a major national moment that embodies the state's will to restore its standing in the region and the world. Countries and their leaders must launch creative ideas to diffuse crises and disasters." Al-Sudani added, regional and international security, political, and environmental challenges have placed Iraq at the center of the storm. And national responsibility requires openness and frankness that these challenges target the stability of the state. Al-Sudani continued, climate and environmental disasters have begun to undermine the foundations of water and food security in countries, and it is imperative that countries, including Iraq, take steps to mitigate the crisis if it occurs. The Prime Minister noted that the initiative to formulate the initial concepts for Iraq's Vision 2050 began in 2023, stating that, "Our goal is to reduce dependence on oil and achieve sustainable growth." The Prime Minister affirmed, "We signed the consultancy contract between the Ministry of Planning and KBR in accordance with Iraq's Vision 2050. For the first time in the history of the Iraqi state, the government took the initiative by launching the Executive Policy Document for Strategic Governance." He emphasized that the general direction of Iraq's Vision 2050 is to ensure that it covers comprehensive and promising sectors, and we look forward to Iraq being free of oil revenues in the coming decades. Tishwash. Iraq's first industrial-scale solar plant opens to tackle electricity crisis. Iraq is opening its first industrial-scale solar plant in Karbala province. Iraq is set to open the country's first industrial-scale solar plant Sunday in a vast expanse of desert in Karbala province, southwest of Baghdad. It's part of a new push by the government to expand renewable energy production in a country that is frequently beset by electricity crises despite being rich in oil and gas. "This is the first project of its type in Iraq that has this capacity," said Safa Hussein, executive director of the new solar plant in Karbala. Standing in front of row after row of black panels. From above, the project looks like a black-clad city surrounded by sand. Standing in front of row after row of black panels. From above, the project looks like a black-clad city surrounded by sand. The plant aims to supply the national network with electricity and reduce the fuel consumption, especially during the daytime peak load, in addition to reducing the negative environmental impact of gas emissions, he said. The newly opened solar plant in Karbala will eventually be able to produce up to 300 megawatts of electricity at its peak, said Nasser Karim al-Sudani, head of the national team for solar energy projects in the Prime Minister's office. Another project under construction in Babel province will have a capacity of 225 megawatts, and work will also begin soon on a 1,000 megawatt project in the southern province of Basra, he said. The projects are part of an ambitious plan to implement large-scale solar power projects in an effort to ease the country's chronic electricity shortages. Deputy Minister of Electricity Adil Karim said Iraq has solar projects with a combined capacity of 12,500 megawatts either being implemented, in the approval process, or under negotiation. If fully realized, these projects would supply between 15% and 20% of Iraq's total electricity demand, excluding the semi-autonomous northern Kurdish region, he said. All the companies we have contracted with, or are still negotiating with, will sell us electricity at very attractive prices, and we will in turn sell it to consumers, Karim said, although he declined to disclose the purchase rates. Despite its oil and gas wealth, Iraq has suffered from decades of electricity shortages because of war, corruption and mismanagement. Power outages are common, especially in the scorching summer months. Many Iraqis have to rely on diesel generators or suffer through temperatures that exceed 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, without air conditioning. Currently, Iraq produces between 27,000 and 28,000 megawatts of electricity, Karim said, while nationwide consumption ranges from 50,000 to 55,000 megawatts. Power plants fueled by Iranian gas contribute about 8,000 megawatts of the current supply. Iraq's heavy reliance on imported Iranian gas, as well as electricity imported directly from Iran to meet its electricity needs, is an arrangement that risks running afoul of U.S. sanctions. Earlier this year, Washington ended a sanctions waiver for direct electricity purchases from Iran but left the waiver for gas imports in place. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com